C-Jac here. So today we're going to be doing a character called Sage. Sage is part of the C-Jac comic book series that I'm working towards, and he's a huge part in the C-Jac universe. He's more of the intellectual character that's very much wrapped up into his head. So naturally, I'll be talking about getting lost in your own thoughts in your own head. So hopefully you can relate to that. But enjoy. Alright, so I got the character about where I want him. Let's go ahead and size him up and do this, and let's get in there. So I want to introduce you to Sage. And also, welcome back to round 2. I appreciate you sticking around and coming back for more. So this character is Sage. Sage was written in the C-Jac and Bastian universe to define logic. He is the logic source, and basically anything and everything that comes his way is something he has to make sense of and understand to the point where he's Mr. Know-It-All. Kind of annoying. Not really. The intellectual value of Sage is one who's really trying to search for more. And it actually worked that the name was Sage because in some definition of sage, it does mean someone who has attained wisdom, and it really resonated with me to discover that, because not only did it fall in line with the character, but it fell in line and made me think a lot about just kind of what I do. And I'm always searching for a new way to do something, or even to be better. And it's like this never-ending pursuit that gets exhausting, and I wish sometimes I could turn it off. I do. Like, I don't want to say that I don't. I think it turns off when I'm more involved with my art or something else. But when I'm like evaluating myself, I'm like, okay, how could you have done this better? How could you approach this better? And it's just this consistent flow of it, especially when I get lost in my overthought. And my overthought is never, I don't want to say it's never a good thing. There are times where it has helped me see a bigger picture to go ahead and actually offer more to whatever situation I was in. But my overthought can be very detrimental to a lot of my relationships and friendships and my family. I think sometimes when I get lost in my head and I start to try to make sense of certain things, and it really doesn't have anything to do with what I'm sensibly making it. My logic and my overthinking just thrashes it. And stepping away from myself has really helped, because I have to start thinking about, like, look, you need to not take these steps to go that direction. That's just not really needed. That's not what this is. And then I come to the conclusion, hey, it's not about you, bro. And when I come to that conclusion, I start to receive things a little bit better. I start to listen better. It's never 100%. I wish it could be, but my mind is one crazy labyrinth of bleh. And it's difficult sometimes. And I don't know if any of y'all can kind of relate to it, but it gets rough. I mean, especially with, like, I don't think I really have anxiety. I just think I overthink, and with my wonderful world of depression, it sometimes is a combative thing to try to understand and make sense of things in order for me to function properly, and it's not easy. And we all deal with things in a different way. So typically, how I ended up kind of dealing with it was, again, stepping away, telling myself it's not about you. It allowed me to really listen to what was going on, especially if I was talking to someone. And it actually helped me get insight to someone else's character and logic. But it also opened me to different ways of approaching mine. And that's that searching for wisdom portion coming in there again. It's really searching for the ability to manage myself more, and sometimes learning from others is one of the best things that we can do, because we ourselves will be limited based upon the things that we're trying to do, and then all of a sudden, you see someone do this and you're like, hey, I wonder if I could do it that way. But it's definitely helped in at least progressing with my overthought. And I'm grateful for being able to, in the situations I have, step away from myself. The other thing too is you start to find the meaning in what matters to other people, and that's a huge thing, especially nowadays. I feel like a lot of people just really don't listen. Like, we all have an opinion, we all want to be right, and Sage can do that. Sage actually does that a lot. He thinks the moment he broke it down, the way he broke it down, that's the way it is. That's the way it works, and you can't change his mind on it. But if he just listened, if he looked at it from a different perspective, I'd say it, but it's almost like if you've seen that movie Big Hero 6 where he flips his brother upside down and says, look at it at a different angle. I think we can use a little bit more of that in our life, is looking at it from a different angle. Step back, breathe. It's not about you, it's about the situation. It's about how you're receiving the information and how you're responding to that information. I think that's the best way I can say it, is how you've received it, and then in correlation how you respond to it. And when you respond to it in a much better manner of understanding it and respecting it for what it is, even if maybe you don't agree with it, you can at least understand it, understand it's coming from someone else, understand that it's important to somebody else, and then at that point you can go ahead and support in some way, or just respect it in some way. I think that's really important. I think that's the brilliance of being human and working together to get somewhere together. Um, and Sage, essentially, even though he might have those character flaws, I feel he's going to get to a point where he will grow in that area of not letting these things dominate him and finding a way to just be better in an organic way where things don't always have to make sense and they just can be accepted. Alright, so I'm getting close to being done here with this, and you're about to get introduced to the full-colored version of Sage. I really hope that you enjoyed this minor conversation, and hopefully they related, but let's give you a sneak peek here. Alright, so here you go. And here's Sage. So I'm really happy with the color palette here, and it's calming, and I really had fun with the kind of cherry blossom trepid tree back there. It I, there it took me a long time to get to a point where I can look at my work and be like, I'm a little happy with this. But if I can say anything to you guys, one, I'm grateful for you sticking around and watching this, but two, keep working at the things that you feel like you're struggling with, and I feel like you can achieve another level of understanding even within yourself and self-awareness. So I hope that this video was fun. Stay tuned for some more. The next one we have is Callus. Hope you enjoy it. Also, look at the notes at the bottom of the video. There's a Spotify playlist link. Listen to it. All right, guys. Take care.